The while statement looks somewhat like this. Okay, this is the syntax. Okay, while, see, it is very much different from the, it's missing. It's very much different from the for statement, the syntax of the for statement. Right? In the for statement, what did we have? For, initialization, condition, increment, decrement, everything was in the same line. Here all the parts are being broken up, right? And initialization is done at the beginning. Initialization is done actually in here, though it is not a part of the while statement, but I'm just showing you the difference. Okay, in for, what did we have? Initialization, condition, and increment, decrement. We had all these three in the very first line itself, right? But here it is broken down into three different statements, as you can see. Okay, otherwise it is the same thing, it makes use of the same logic. Okay, so see, initialization will be done at the very beginning. After that, we have the while statement started. So here, while condition, so inside the bracket we will only have the condition. Okay, we will only have the condition. Now if the condition is satisfied, you get inside. Okay, you get inside, execute the statement block, then increment, decrement takes place. Okay, depending on the logic that you apply. After that, after the increment or decrement is done, again you go back here. Okay, just let me just draw okay. Okay, so as you can see, initialization will be done at the very beginning. Okay, this is say number one. Then next we will check for the condition. If the condition is satisfied, it's just like the for statement, just like the flow. Okay, how the control, you know, the flow of control in the flow for statement, it is the same way. Okay, things will be done here. Initialization is done first, then we check for the condition. If the condition is satisfied, you get inside, execute the statement block, then we go for increment, decrement. Okay, then after that, after the increment or decrement is done, we again go back to the very beginning. Again we check for the condition. Again, if it is satisfied, get inside, execute the statement block, again increment or decrement, again go back, execute, you know, check for the condition. So if you say, it is the same thing. Okay, they do the same thing in the same manner, provided the syntax is different, the order in which we write them is different. Other than that, everything is the same. Okay, so for and while, you will be, because these are three different statements doing the same task, so you will be asked about the similarities and differences. Similarity is in the way they process, you know, the way the task that they perform. Okay, they perform the same thing. Difference is their syntax. Okay, the difference is in their syntax, nothing else. So for and while are completely the same. So this is the flow chart. If you see, so we start first, then we check for the condition. If the condition is satisfied, get inside, execute the code block. Okay, increment, decrement. Okay, then the condition will check again. If it is satisfied, come inside, the loop will continue. If the condition is not satisfied, however, come back, you know, follow the different path here, and the for while statement terminates. Okay, then followed by this, if you have any other statements in your program, those will be executed, else your program terminates here. Okay, okay. Now one thing that you all must remember, know, is that in case of while and for statement, because now we understood while and for statement, so you must understand one thing, that if the condition in case of while or for is not satisfied at the very beginning, For example, I take the value of I to be 12 here. Okay, so this was the example for statement. If I take the value of I to be 12 here, okay, initialization, I have initialized the value of I to be 12. Then what will happen? You see, after initialization, what comes? Condition. Check the condition. Is 12 less than equal to 10? No. So at the very beginning, if the condition is not satisfied, you can never get inside the block. Your statement block will never be executed. The same is in case of while also. Why? Because you see, because we check the condition at the very beginning, and only if the condition is satisfied, you can get inside. So it is obvious, right? So at the very beginning, if your initialization is done in such a way that it does not satisfy the condition, then you can never get inside the statement block. So this applies both to for and while. Okay, so you must remember this. It's given here. The key point to notice that a while loop might not execute at all when the condition is okay might sorry at all when the condition is tested and the result is false, the loop body will be skipped and the first statement after the while loop will be executed. So if the condition is found to be false at the very beginning, be it the for statement or the while statement, your entire statement block will be skipped. You cannot get inside. And then after that, if you have any other statements, just following the for or while statement, if you have any other statements in your program, those will be executed. Okay, so this you have to remember. Okay, no, now see here we have the same example that we discussed for the for statement, the same example that has been written in while now. Okay, okay, see, so it is a very simple example. Here what am I supposed to do? I am to print all the numbers from 1 to 10. The same thing I did using for, here I am doing the same thing using while. You see, you start with your program. Initialization is always done at the very beginning. So this is the initialization done. Okay, this is the initialization done here, which we do in for statement. We do it together inside the for statement itself. But here we will do it separately. Then what do we have here? We have the condition. I'm just marking the different parts so that you don't get confused. Okay, and this is increment. Increment decrement can also be renamed as updation. Okay, you are updating the value by incrementing or by decrementing. So you can in some books or in some sites you might get updation also. Instead of increment or decrement, you might also get updation in the syntax. It means the same thing. Updating means either you are updating the value by incrementing it or by decrementing it. Okay, so see, these three things were together inside the for statement, but here we have in separate statements. Okay, otherwise everything is the same. So first we do the initialization. So I has been taken to be 1. Then we have the while statement. So this is the while statement. Okay, this is the start of the while statement till here. So here we will only check for the condition is I less than equal to 10. So if the condition is satisfied, you get inside. Since we are to print the numbers, so we directly are printing the numbers here. Okay, I, person D and I, we are printing them. And after that, we have the updation statement. We are incrementing the value by 1. Okay, and then the statement ends. And then we don't have any other statement. We have a return 0 only to terminate the program execution. So here we have the explanation. It is the same thing. So starting with the first, see I is equal to 1. Okay, initialization has been done. Then we start with the first iteration. That means the first round. Okay, first we will check for the condition. Is 1 less than equal to 10? True. So if the condition is true, you get inside, you display the value of I. So 1 will get displayed, value of I is printed. And then we go for incrementation. So after I plus plus, we get what? 2. So my I is updated to 2 now. Now again you go back, right? You again go back and check for the condition. So what is the latest value of I now? It is 2. So what? So in the second round, my I is 2. So I now check for this value. So is 2 less than equal to 10? Yes, true. Again you get inside, again you print the value of I and increment. So you print it here and increment it. Now your I is 3. Again you go back and check for the condition with the latest value of I. So in the third iteration, my latest value is 3 for I. Again I check for the condition, it is found to be true. Get inside, print the value of I, which is 3. and increment it by 1. So I plus plus gives me 4 now. So this will continue. Okay. Then you finally reach the 10th iteration. In the 10th iteration, what do you get? In the 10th round, you have your I as 10. So is 10 less than or equal to 10? Yes, 10 is equal to 10. So this is true. Okay, again you get inside, you print the value of 10, I, which is 10, and increment it by 1, which is 11. Okay, again you go back, check for the condition for the next iteration. So now my updated value is 11. So is 11 now less than equal to 10? No, false. Therefore, you cannot get inside. You skip it and you execute the next statement in your program. So we have returned 0. Therefore, our program execution terminates here. Have you understood? Have you understood this?
Yes, ma'am.
Baki bilake kwa, it is only Tarifa and 1-2 more students who is responding. Rest of the students, I want acknowledgement from every student, not only one. If 21 are attending, I don't expect yes or no from only 1 or 2 students. Okay. We have a doubt clearing session on Wednesday. I'm repeatedly telling you. Till then, go through all the topics, fine, and let me know. Okay. See, we have done 2 more examples here. Let me just show you this example again. In case of, I will just write it. Okay, I know you have understood the execution, the working of this particular program, right? So I will just simply rewrite this code using while. Okay, the same code I will rewrite using while. See, this program was to add the even numbers between 1 to 10, right? I'm just okay. See, because I'm rewriting the same program using while. Okay, so we have to do the initialization first. So either you can directly initialize at the time of declaration here itself. Okay, in this statement, either you can do it directly here or you can just do it here. Fine, as per your convenience you can do it. So I'm initializing here. Then we don't have this, we have to use while. Okay, increment will not be in here. Okay, so we are done with the initialization, we are done with the condition. Then the working will be the same. Okay, this has to be E because I'm using the variable as E sum, not sum. So you have to take care of this. Okay, you have to take care of these problems. You have not taken sum as the variable, you have taken E sum as the variable, so it should be E sum. Okay, then see, once you are done with all this, now you have to increment the value of I, right? So where are you incrementing? The increment or decrement is always the last statement inside the while statement. Okay, inside the while body, increment or decrement is always at the end. Okay, so here we will do just the addition part. So just this is the while part, actually this is the while part. Okay, so just here, okay, just here you will be incrementing or decrementing the value. So we have to increment it. So I have incremented the value here. Okay, so this is how, you know, you will rewrite the same program using while statement. So if you write using while, your program will look somewhat like this. So this was for adding even numbers between 1 to 10. Okay, suppose you are to add suppose you are to add numbers which are divisible by 5 between 1 to 50. Okay, I have asked you to add all the numbers between 1 to 50 which are divisible by 5. It is the same criteria. 1 to 50 means you have to first maximize this value. Okay, so I will be 1 and I will be less than equal to what? 50. Okay, so 1 to 50, it is done. And the second condition is it should be divisible by 5. So here what am I doing? Instead of 2, I am just writing 5. So all the numbers, all the i's that I will consider from 1 to 50, all i's will be checked against this condition. Okay, whether that particular number is divisible by 5 or not. If it is divisible by 5, then I will add it. Okay, so it is the same thing. And this should be sum of the first, so this should be sum of all numbers between 1 and 50 divisible by 5. Okay, so you have to just write the statement, okay, properly, whatever you are trying to display. So the sum of all the numbers between 1 and 50 divisible by 5. Okay, so have you understood this program? Do I need to execute it in the editor, or it is fine? You can, I think, practice on your own if I share the programs with you, right? Is while statement clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, now I will, okay, now I will start with do while. See, do while is also the same thing. Okay, first we will go through the syntax and the programs, and then I will ask you the difference here. You have understood for and while. For and while are exactly the same. They process things exactly the same way. They work exactly the same way. The difference is only in the syntax and nothing else, right? And you have also seen that if at the very beginning the condition is found to be false, then whether in case of for or in while, you cannot get inside the statement block. You have to skip the statement block. So it might happen that at the very beginning, if your initialization is done in a way that your condition is found to be false, then your for or while statement might not be executed even once. Okay, it might never be executed in your program depending on the condition, because condition is always checked at the very beginning. In do while, we will check. Okay, we will first go through the syntax and then I will ask you for the difference. See here, this is the condition for do while. Okay, initialization is done just like in case of while statement initialization. Okay, then this is the do while statement. First do and while, these are two different keywords. Okay, do while. So do is a different keyword, while is a different keyword, and they are not used together. They are used differently. So first you have do. Okay, then your statement body begins. Your block of statement begins. Here you have the increment, decrement, updation part. Let me just write it as updation. Okay, so here you have the updation. So it almost looks similar to while. Initialization. Then here in while, what did we have? While keyword followed by the condition, right? Here we don't have the condition after do. We don't have any condition here. After do, we directly have the statement block. And inside the statement block, if you see, things are again the same. You have the block of statements, and at the end you have the updation. So whether you increment or decrement it, okay, then your body ends here. But if you see, actually it does not end here. You still have certain more things. What do you have here? You have a while keyword. So that is why do and while. Okay, do is used at the beginning, while is used at the end. So just after closing the parenthesis, you have the while keyword followed by what? The condition. So this part we have seen, this part was at the beginning in case of while statement, right? We had this part here. After that, we had this statement block and updation, and then our while statement ended. But here we have it at the end, and at the very beginning we simply have the do keyword. Okay, so I just want to ask you one thing. If I have taken any value which does not satisfy the condition, okay, just try to understand. If I have taken any value, say I have taken I must be less than 10, but I have taken I to be 11 here. Okay, I have taken I to be 11 here, but my condition says that I has to be less than 10. Now I'm asking you, can I get inside this statement block here in case of do while? Had it been for or while, it would not be possible, because we checked the condition at the very beginning. Is 11 less than equal to 10? No. Since it is no, you will have to skip the statement block. You cannot get inside. In this case, I'm asking, you have the initialization, then you don't have a condition here. You have the condition at the end. Is it possible to get inside this statement block even if the condition is not satisfied? Kwasun, most of you have done C++ in your 12. Say. Say something. Yes, no. Try to understand the syntax. We are doing an initialization, then we are asked to do something. What are we asked to do? We are asked to display the statement block and update the value. Do we have a condition here? We don't have a condition here. We have the condition at the end. My question is, irrespective of the condition, whether or not the condition is satisfied or not satisfied, can we get inside this at least once at the very beginning?
No.
How many yes and how many no? বহুতে কৈছে আচ্ছা yes yes কোনে কৈছে? Okay, Deepak, Bipasha, Bishal, Hirokjyoti. Okay, then acha acha ইহঁতে yes yes কৈছে. Why yes আৰু no এজনে no ক'লে? Why no? Darwin said no and Tarifa said no. Why yes and why no? Why no? First to tell me that. Tarifa, why no? Come on, interact with me. Hmm? কোৱাচোন.
মেম যেতিয়া কন্ডিশনটো নহয় তেতিয়া
কণ্ডিশ্যনটো ক'ত আছে? লাষ্টত তুমি ইয়াৰ পৰা আহিবা নে উল্টাকে সোমাবা ভিতৰত? You will follow this sequence, right? You have the initialization first. Suppose initialization is, let me just write it here, I is equal to 11. Okay, and the condition given here is, say I is less than equal to 10. Okay, now after the initialization is done, what is the next statement? This, right? So do we have any condition here? We don't have any condition here. So irrespective of whether the condition is true or false, the do while will execute at least once. And this is the basic difference between do while and for while. In for and while, we have the condition at the very beginning. I have been repeating certain words again and again just to make you understand. In while and for statements, we have the condition at the very beginning. What does that mean? Condition satisfied, get inside. Condition not satisfied, get out. In do while, we have the condition at the end. That means you have the entry point at least once. You can enter the statement block at least once. You have the initialization here, doesn't matter. You get inside because you are allowed to. You don't have any condition here. You get inside, whatever is there inside, just display them or work, it will work. After that, you have some updation. then the value of I will be updated by 1, which will make what I to be equal to 12. Now my I becomes 12 here after increment. Okay, now you come here at the end. What do you have? The while statement, inside which you have the condition. What condition do you have here? I less than equal to 10. So your condition is checked at the end. So what is the latest value of I now? It is 12. So the initial value will never be checked here, because initially you have entered, irrespective of whatever value you have, you could enter, you display